Chris Ledesma, resident of West Sacramento for the last 16 years, and running for City Council in West Sacramento.
Please summarize your qualifications.
Absolutely. I've been a member of the Planning Commission here in West Sacramento the last 9.5 years, since 2001. I always get confused. It's 9 years, right? Nearly 10 years. And have served as chair for 5 of those years. So been very much involved in our community through the Planning Commission, as well as being involved in our local church and other elderly nutrition program in west of Yolo County, which serves all of Yolo County. My wife has been very involved as well in the West Sacramento Foundation and Our Lady of Grace Church. So we've been very much involved in our community, so we know it. We know a lot of residents in town. I've been very passionate about our community. Ran for council 4 years ago and lost by 67 votes, and very close. And so it's made me fight a little harder this time to make sure I started things early, do things right. So I'm making the rounds of these endorsement meetings. I look forward to getting on the council and kind of going from there.
Okay.
Can you do a little bit of your historical background too?
Absolutely, personal historical.
Yeah, occupation.
I think, yeah, I will. My occupation, I am in work for Wells Fargo Bank. I work in the small business lending division. I am the marketing director and director of strategic initiatives for a nationwide franchise that goes out and makes loans to small business owners all over the U.S. Been doing that for 15 years, which means I'm very involved with it have been the last 5 years, very involved with the Small Business Administration, which is a very important agency if you're not keeping track. So I've been very involved in small business issues for the last 10, 15 years while I've been doing that. But the last 5, been working at the federal level, going to Washington, talking to Senate committees, House committees, members of the Congress about this important program, so we can, especially the last 2 years, 3 years when the stimulus programs came out. And I'm very proud that the Democrats led that charge to improve the SBA program for small businesses. And it's being held up by some other folks right now that there's more legislation coming. But again, that's kind of my background. That's what I do 9 to 5. And so I'm wanting to bring a lot of that expertise back to the local level. I've already started doing that by working with our chamber, bringing in the SBA folks from around the region to come in and talk to our small business owners. It's important they know what resources are available to them right now. So that's my background, so I do. And I have 2 young daughters, Isabella and Elena. Elena's 10, going on 18, and Isabella is 7. And so they're both at Our Lady of Grace school down in Southport area. So go ahead.
Okay, so you ran for council 4 years ago.
I did.
You're running again this time.
That's right.
You've seen what's happened the last 4 years. What are your reasons for running? Kind of explain why you decided to run again and the issues you want to address, and just exactly why you want to be on the council.
Well, there's 2 compelling reasons for me. You know, I ran 4 years ago because I believe in this community wholeheartedly, and it is a commitment to get on council and work for the betterment of the community. So I've actually, you said the last 4 years, I look at the last 10 years that I've been involved in the community and seeing a lot of the good things, a lot of the hard work that has to be done to kind of keep our community growing, develop the right ways, work on sustainable growth. All those things are important to this community. That's why I ran 4 years ago, and that really hasn't changed. It's probably more important now because we're in a recession, that we need to keep that work going, find ways to improve this. Well, a lot of the reason, because I know that hard work, and so it's important that we keep doing that work, and I'm committing myself to do that. The other reason is what I brought up earlier, is that I think our council, I do have a lot of experience with small businesses. I do have a lot of experience with the issues that they face, and I'm hoping to bring a little bit of that voice to our council, trying to make sure we do all we can for our existing businesses. While I was waiting, I visited the business next door, saw how business was going. But you know, those are important issues. They're an important part of our community because they not only own their businesses, they probably live here and they employ 2 or 3 people that live here. So again, that's one of the reasons I think that we have a lot to offer. We can have a lot to offer them as a council and as from a policy perspective. So I want to get involved for those reasons as well, because I can add it. Okay.
And if elected, what will be your priorities and issues you'd like to get addressed in the city?
There's a few, and I'll name. You know, I don't want to go on and be too repetitive, but I think I brought up right off the bat is just to work with the folks that work in economic development and see what we can do, make sure we bring in resources. I think one of the roles of a city council member is to be a bit of a cheerleader in their community, to be a bit of a leader. And, you know, I have folks that I'd love to bring in, again, to make sure our small business owners get the resources they need, but also work with our staff and making sure that we are ready for when we're coming out of the recession, that, you know, we had to cut staff this year. So they've got to be ready when we come out of this and be better engaged efficiency-wise and everything else, because hopefully they're going to have to process a lot of permits to do that. So that's one of the focus areas I have. I don't want to harp too much on that, but it is an important one. The other one is to create a better, that I want to focus on, is just to create a better relationship with the schools. You know, we have the school 2x2s, and it's an important role, but I really want to focus on that because there's a lot of good things happening with Los Rios in the community, with the school district, and I think there's a good opportunity for us to kind of keep our kids engaged. We need to be doing, I think, more as a community to make sure our public schools gets the attention they need. I don't want to relegate it to or delegate it to the district solely. I mean, these are our families that work here, that live here, play here, and we should be a bit more engaged, I think, in the educational process. So those are kind of two issues. I think that there's another thing too. Keep them engaged, get educated, stay in programs, keep them out of trouble, but it, you know, creates a better workforce. So we're, on one hand, we're out trying to bring in jobs, we're creating a workforce that's ready, they're ready for those opportunities. So those are kind of two things I really want to focus on. You know, my dad never graduated high school, and he never went to college by any means. He was an orphan, and he